Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. So today is the 1st of January 2021. It's the new year and it's the second day of the full moon. So what better time than to do a ritual? The ritual I'm doing today, I got from a place where I live called Spellbox. I'm not affiliated with them, by the way. This is just somewhere I go occasionally for sort of witchy stuff, and they have the one near where I live. They have kind of a carved wizard face in what looks like a wooden tree, and they have a wheel above it that you can, for a coin donation, you can spin the wheel, and the wheel has numbers 0 to 21 around it, which, if you know anything about the tarot, you can probably guess what that means. Each number corresponds to a Minor Arcana card. So the card that I spun is number 11, Justice, which they have sort of interpreted mostly from the perspective of what it represents for balance and choices and truth, and that's truth within yourself and your situation. So it's sort of about like concepts of individuation and psychosynthesis, where you bring together maybe aspects of yourself that have been in opposition, or maybe aspects that were repressed, or the conscious and the unconscious, or the desires that you think you should have and the truer desires that you actually have, that you're either not acknowledging or you don't want to acknowledge. Lots of different things that this could mean, but it's for me it's about being more truthful with yourself, and therefore more authentic in life and in choices. And what I like to do before a ritual, one of the things I like to do is to pull tarot cards. And sure enough, the tarot cards that I pulled for this ritual were the Moon, the Six of Staffs in the middle, and the Magician. He looks rather wizardy. He looks like a lot like the little carved wizard at Spellbox, who I've sort of, as a homage to him, I've got my own little wizard carving out of wood here. It's interesting how synchronicities like that come up when you do a ritual like this. But for me, I have been working with the archetypes of the Moon and the Magician as representations of aspects of myself that have been sort of held apart in my psyche, and that are sort of powerful untapped resources. So it's really fitting that those two would come up, and that this card in this deck came up in between. And in this deck it means a sort of a path being cleared, like this path in the forest that is being cleared, finally, a way that is being cleared, as though it's sort of it's clearing something between these two aspects, which is exactly what I've been working on. So hopefully that's what this ritual will sort of help bring together and bring about a better sense of truthfulness within myself, and sort of balancing out things in my life as a reflection of that, and hopefully sort of clearing up things also that are unfair, of course, because that is another aspect of justice. And the little trinkets that I pulled, I have here a pentagram, which of course is the 5 elements, which I've used in this ritual. I did that to clear the crystals that are part of this ritual. Actually, I I buried them in soil for a bit. I ran them under purified water. I passed them swiftly through a flame. I put them over incense for air, and I also used, I guess, what could be thought of as ether by doing Reiki on them. So that pentagram's about 5 elements, and it's about magic, of course, and it's about the sort of magical aspects of myself, which is a very important part of myself, and it also goes back to the magician card, of course. Peace, which is something I've really been working on and asking for myself, so that makes complete sense. The 4-leaf clover is sort of luck and wishes, which is also something I've been working on, sort of, feeling down on my luck and stuff, but it also reminded me that it relates to a memory of a time in my life when I was little and I used to find lots of 4-leaf clovers, which was kind of amazing. It then seemed kind of magical because they're so rare, and it sort of felt like I was like in touch with like nature and magic, I guess. Also that relates to the Fae, the little fairy there, and the moon, and of course that relates to the moon card. It also relates to the Fae folk and their place in the magical kingdom and in being connected with nature. This has a story behind it, what it means to me. To me, this is reminding me of a story about a goanna, and there's a dream story about goannas and about its significance to like sort of deep arcane kind of knowledge and magical realizations, and sort of not being able to express that to other people and wanting to make everybody realize how important it is. Okay, so the first thing, before as I was setting all of this up, I did some singing bowls to clear the air. I have some incense going. I dressed the candles, even though that wasn't part of the instructions. A really good thing to do before a ritual is called dressing the candles with an oil, and possibly adding other things to the oil. You can use really any kind of oil you want, but a good one is jojoba, a sort of neutral oil, base oil. And what I did was added some sort of magical herbs. And the interesting thing is the herbs that I found I had lying around make a lot of sense to this ritual, actually. I added motherwort, which is for protection, longevity, and counter magic, which is sort of very important. If you think about it, justice is kind of a counter, like sort of counter defense kind of thing, because it counters injustice and things that are unfair and things that have gone wrong. So I think counter magic is a good thing to add to this spell. Rosemary for protection, clearing, and Fae magic. Again, that goes back to the little fairy there. Chamomile, which I believe is a sacred herb to the Celtic people, and it's for sleep, calmness, and purification. And these are all things I've really been working on a lot. Sandalwood, moon magic, again the moon card, and also this moon here. And healing, wishes, that, and love. And this one is vervain, which is for purification, peace, and love. So I just sprinkled a little bit of each of those into the jojoba oil, and first I addressed the candles downwards to clear away anything, and then added the herbs and addressed them upwards to give them the sort of new energy that I wanted. So now that I've done all that, and I've done some tarot, and I've cleared everything, I'm just going to do a little bell clearing just before I light the candles. And just make sure I have my incense going. There we go, you can see the smoke. Okay, now I'm going to read out the little rhyme on the oracle. The way of the future depends on today, the choices you make, the words that you say. For as seeds are sown, your pathway is cast. Where you are today came from the past. So now see the truth of your own present task, and know that your life can be what you ask. And now I'm just feeling into the energy of the ritual. This is why it's important to do a ritual is literally, you know, a series of procedures and a setting up of something to contain the energy. So I've already done a lot of inner work in my setting up of this ritual, which is something I did, you know, privately on my own without the camera for that reason. And this is the sort of performative bit of the ritual, which is why I'm more inclined to show this part to an audience. So now that there's been like a big build-up of sort of psychical and unconscious energy that I put into all the little bits and pieces of this ritual and the sort of anticipation of it and the build-up, now I'm just feeling the ritual. I'm just feeling the energy, and I don't need to analyze it and actively think about it. So what I'm going to do now to end this part of the ritual that I'm doing with you, I'm going to light a little sparkler in celebration of the new year, and then I'm going to close down the video and do a little more private contemplation and then close down the ritual.